Hi, my name is Roberto, and I have one question for you. Can you think of something that you could do different or better that could improve your life? Just take a couple of seconds, give it some thought. And okay, so of course, maybe you will need a bit more time, but also maybe you already came up with something. And in fact, right now, that is what I want to talk with you about. Specifically, I want to just introduce to you three very simple techniques that you can use to initiate behavior change. And the techniques are so simple that even a beginner at behavior change can apply them. And just to be clear, by beginner I mean in case you have not approached behavior change before consciously or systematically. But even if you have tried that, such an approach before, if you have tried a certain technique or if you have read a book and tried the advice that was given there, even so, maybe these three steps will help you to reevaluate or maybe re-engage with the same behavior or a different behavior that you want to change. But let's get to the point. The three techniques that I want to introduce to you are: first, agenda mapping; second, brainstorm options; and the third, consider your behavior change options. So these are very general labels, but they are also quite descriptive, and let me just explain to you each of them. First of all, I can say that in total, performing these three steps will take you, let's say, at least 30 minutes, and it could also take you more if you have the time. But let's go with the first one. This is agenda mapping, and the basic objective of this technique is that you can identify, as we said at the beginning, how your life could improve. And the key question that you can ask yourself here is, okay, what are the actual things that I can change? So those things that are under my control that will lead to my life improving. So in this very basic technique, the idea is just to start identifying maybe one thing that could really be the most meaningful change that you could do. And that's it. That's the first technique that we're talking about. But then this connects to the second one. And the second one, as I said, is labeled as brainstorm options. And here the basic idea is precisely to just open your creativity and think of a large menu of options of how you could change a specific behavior. So if you already thought from the first technique about something you would like to change and you know that's under your control, there could still be many ways to go about that. So the idea of this second technique, brainstorming options, is literally brainstorming specifically without judging any of the options that you're thinking about. So just make the list as long as possible. And the key question here is really you want to know, what are the possibilities that I have? Doesn't matter yet if they are good, if they are bad, we don't think about that yet. Just what are the possibilities? And that takes us to the last technique. As you remember, this is called consider behavior change options, and it cannot be more explicit like that. So the objective here is to assess the options that you already have. So if you have your menu of options, now you can take the time to critically assess each of them. And the key question is here that you ask yourself, okay, how will doing this change, following this option, affect my health, my relationships, my motivation, my enjoyment, my finances? So here it becomes obvious that you are thinking about each option in a critical way. For example, if somebody wants to become physically active, the most obvious, or one of the most obvious options, is usually, okay, I will start going to the gym. But a lot of people, and that's something normal, we don't have the money to pay for a fee, for a subscription to a gym, or we don't even have the time to travel there or to go there. So simply put, you have to weigh each option and really consider and ask several questions about, okay, how will this affect the different aspects of my life? So, like I said before, these are three simple, straightforward techniques that you can use to start with behavior change. And as I said before also, you need maybe approximately 10 minutes for each of them, but it's also possible that one of them or two of them, it can take longer for you. And that depends really on what flows better for your own personality, for your own way of approaching these matters. So for example, if you're a highly enthusiastic person or very optimistic, usually it's better for you or it's faster for you to come up with things that you would like to change. You know several ways that you could improve your life. But also if you're a creative person, maybe you're many of options that you don't really need to critique, but that you just come up with them like any idea. Maybe you're creative enough that your list is long and long and long, and that's also good. And finally, if you are, a forward thinker, if you have a very critical mind, that last technique might also be a bit more natural to you, and that's part of the game also. So basically just do what feels better for you, invest more time if something feels like it's coming easier for you, and in the end, if you spend like 30 minutes or maybe 1 hour in all of these 3 techniques, you already have a good plan of how to initiate behavior change. Now, I want to say, and it is important to say, that these are not techniques that I came up with. I came to know them thanks to a very interesting scientific work that I found. And I actually already spoke with a researcher and a developer of this work. And you can find that in the description below if you're interested in that. And the name of that work is titled The Compendium of Self-Enactable Techniques to Change and Self-Manage Motivation and Behavior. And this is the first version of that compendium. So check the link if you're interested. And of course, more important than that, I also want to ask for your comments, ask for your opinion about what you think about these 3 steps. And to provide you a bit more tools or a bit more input about how to engage in each of them, I also invite you to check out my social media channels, where I have put some very short videos with some examples, with some more information and tips about how to engage in these 3 steps. And if you check that, please let me know what you think. Let me know if they were helpful, or let me know what else you think you might need to know to keep or to try these techniques. So in the end, remember, this channel is precisely about this. It's about self-primacy, which entails to learn, to practice, to master, but also to share these kind of techniques and strategies. So as before, if you want to support me and promote this mindset, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, or just follow me on any of the platforms. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.